Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity. We're good for you.
Also brought to you by Roper's Enterprises. 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile. Saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record.
For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Wednesday, the 9th day of December 2020. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we again urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, whether you're a pedestrian, cyclist, operating any type of motorized vehicle. We all have a legal as well as a moral obligation to ensure that we do not jeopardize the safety of our fellow road users. So, if you ensure that you observe the rules of the road, then the life that you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. If you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. And we hope and we trust that your faith, as well as your memories of your loved ones, will help to carry you through these very challenging times. For those of you who may be infirmed, either at home or in a hospital, we want to wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and the management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. Those calls can come in on a toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. If you don't like to talk on the telephone, then simply email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. You can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And, of course, follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. No guests in the studio yet. Today's the day assigned for MLA or MP. I will still call them MLAs for a while. Just probably on purpose, as well. MP, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, and of course he represents the constituency of Georgetown Central in our legislative assembly, in our parliament, and hope to have him in probably, if not before the 8 o'clock news, after the 8 o'clock news as well. Meanwhile, we will share information with you that we have as well and yesterday, as far as the COVID-19 testing is concerned. The report by Dr. John Lee, the Chief Medical Officer, indicated that 272 COVID tests had been carried out since it was last reported on Monday the 7th of December. Again, one was positive in this case. Out of the 272 tests, one was positive. They have indicated that the individual is an asymptomatic traveler who returned a positive test result following routine screening. They have also indicated that they will remain in isolation until considered recovered. They have also supplied us with a number of persons in isolation who are either at a government facility or in their homes as required by the Medical Officer for Health. That number now is 1,357. So that's the number that we have in relation to those persons in isolation, either at a government facility or at home. And as you may notice, those numbers keep going up. So we're over 1,300 at this point in time, which means that more people are entering the Cayman Islands, either leaving and entering or simply coming in. And again, we basically want to alert you and alert those persons to the fact that they want to ensure that they abide by the protocols and the regulations that have been established in terms of quarantining. And we have seen where there was another breach again, and we hope and we trust that those persons will be dealt with expeditiously and effectively as well. There are some persons who believe that the fines that are being imposed by the courts are not sufficient to really send a strong message to persons who would be considering breaching the quarantine protocols. And I guess there are lots of things that the courts have to take into consideration when imposing a fine, including the ability of the person to pay. But people have argued, why put the fines at a particular level if you don't intend, if you have no intentions whatsoever of imposing them? Of course, the legislators or the parliamentarians, they will pass the laws. The courts, of course, have a certain amount of discretion in the matter as well. What else can I share with you this morning that is of extreme importance? The Needs Assessment Unit support for districts. And I'll share that with you for those of you who may require the services of the Needs Assessment Unit. And there are still many persons who are unemployed simply because the industry that, or the sector that they are employed in, has been affected by the COVID-19 situation, the travel restrictions, whether it be in the tourism industry or otherwise. So there are still significant number of persons out there who are still unemployed. So the Needs Assessment Unit pilot program, and it's called NAU is in Our District, seeks to improve access to the Needs Assessment Unit services by persons in district communities. So this coming Friday, the 11th of November 2020, the Needs Assessment staff will visit the East End Civic Center from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. to support persons in need of assistance with their NAU applications. So this Friday, the 11th of December, from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m., the Needs Assessment Unit will have support staff in the district to assist those persons who are in need of assistance with their applications. Then on the following Friday, the 18th of December, the Needs Assessment Unit team will visit Northside at the public library to assist residents of that district. The time there is 10 a.m., from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Okay, so for Northside, it is the 18th, Friday the 18th of December, from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. They have also indicated that more visits are planned for 2021, and they will shortly be announced as well. Let me see if there's any additional information that I can provide to you in relation to the other districts as well. Searching for that information, for you also. Meanwhile, okay. So they will give us additional information in relation to the other districts later on. Time for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Over a century ago, the unique industry of barking earned some residents double the daily wages. Barking was no easy task and involved trekking through marshy grounds along the North Sound and stripping the bark from the red mangroves along the coastline. The mangrove trees would die after being debarked, and the bark was exported for use in dyes and tanning leather after being weighed and dried. The laborers were commonly referred to as barking fools for enduring the difficult task, along with battling droves of mosquitoes and doing so without the use of shoes and gloves.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary, we've been part of the beginnings,
the then and now of the Francis Bodden Girls' Home in Bodden Town and the Bonaventure Boys' Home in the West Bay. Rotary Central, along with community partners, assisting students to overcome barriers on their path of learning during this pandemic. Thousands of dollars in laptops. Support for the annual Rotary Island-wide health check and diabetes training by Rotary. The National Blood Bank, supported by Rotary since 1999. Lives saved, lives restored. Just a little of what we've done and continue to do. Rotary opens opportunities.
Green Turtle, modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
Thinking of getting a hybrid but don't know much about them? Vamped Motors has lots of great reasons why you should choose the new Toyota CHR Hybrid for a new ride. Hybrids save fuel, run cleaner, reduce CO2 emissions, and even recharge their batteries while being driven, so you don't ever have to worry about plugging them in. Plus, the CHR Hybrid is reliable, providing up to 1 million kilometers on the same battery and engine. And its sporty subcompact SUV look makes it fun as well as economical to drive. So stop by Vamped Motors to treat yourself this Christmas to a new fuel-efficient, eco-friendly Toyota CHR, starting from $31,900 while stock lasts. Happy holidays from all of us at Vamped Motors on Walkers Road.
No, man. My bills seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Phone Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio yet. I'm sharing as much information as I can with you now that I have that opportunity. This one has to do with something called Cayman Connect, and it involves a virtual Cayman Christmas for Caymanians overseas. And there's a last call for this. And it reads, last call for Caymanians overseas who can't get home for Christmas to join Cayman Culture Christmas virtual event on the 18th of December. So the 18th of December will be next Friday, the 18th of December. And what it reads is Cayman Connection, supported by the Cayman Islands Government Office in the UK and the Friends of Cayman Group, has been promoting a virtual Christmas Camanian culture gathering on Friday, the 18th of December. The event includes a partnership with Camanian chef Chad Scott from Gogo Carib, who will be making Cayman-style dishes delivered as holiday meals across the United Kingdom. And for dessert, rum cakes will accompany these holiday meals, thanks to Tortuga Rum Cakes, which has also joined this special effort. Originally envisaged as a small event to cater for up to 30 Caymanians unable to get home for Christmas, Dart Scholar stepped in to ensure that no Caymanian students staying overseas during difficult times would miss out on the food and fun after a hard year, and the guest list is currently now over 65. Dart Scholar commented, Dart Scholar is delighted to sponsor Cayman Connection's virtual Christmas around the world. Let me read that again. Dart Scholar is delighted to sponsor Cayman Connection's virtual Christmas. Around the world, Christmas is a time to get together with family and friends and enjoy delicious food and entertainment. We know that for many UK-based Caymanian students, this year will be different. Some can't come home, so we are helping Cayman Connection to deliver a little taste of home to them. We hope this virtual evening filled with the taste of home and heartwarming Caymanian entertainment brings some joy, and we will look forward to seeing them all along with our Dart Scholars when they return. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. The event includes Christmas performances by Caymanians in London and Manchester, spoken word poetry by a student in Liverpool, Camanian Christmas storytelling with Rita Estevanovich, and a performance by steel pan performer Olujumi Jeme Lapierre in Cayman to bring a slice of home to those overseas. Longtime supporter of Cayman Connection, offshore law firm Morant, was first at the helm to support the event. Hector Robinson, QC partner at Morant, said, "We're really pleased to be able to support this event and Cayman Connection. This year has been particularly challenging for everyone, especially those who have been kept apart from loved ones. We are so glad we can help play a part in providing some joyful Cayman spirit for those who will be so far away from home for the holidays. Clearly, this festive season will be different to what is normal for many families, but we're hoping events like this will still be able to bring everyone together for some good cheer. Entertainment will be followed by Christmas games and virtual social engagement to bring some comfort to those far from home, and there are additional surprises, including a fantastic offering from Cayman Airways. Chef Chad Scott said, and I quote, "It was perfect timing to be approached by Cayman Connection, as I am relaunching my catering company, Gogo Carib. I am very happy to serve up food to Camanians overseas at Christmas time. I am honored to be a part of this network and event, and pleased to be able to share my food and new company. Lauren Williams, student in Liverpool, added, being away from home is difficult, particularly at this time, and being a student overseas has been very strange. So I'm really happy to be a part of this event and to share my spoken word poem with other Camanians in the United Kingdom and in Cayman. And then what do we have? Final Rsvp and registration for the event closes on Thursday. That is tomorrow, the 10th of December at midnight. You can register by emailing hello, HELLO, at camanconnection.org. All right, I'm going to repeat that again. If you want to register for this virtual event and to also share in the food, email hello, HELLO, at camanconnection.org. Mr. Andre Ebanks, who is the head of the Cayman Islands office in the UK, commented, the holiday, and I quote, the holiday season in the UK and Europe will certainly be different this year, but that does not mean that it cannot be made to feel as warm, caring, and festive as possible. In fact, current circumstances provide even more reason to do so. So with the holiday season swiftly approaching, Cayman Islands government in the UK relished the opportunity to think creatively with Cayman Connection and the Friends of Cayman group to bring Caymanians staying in the UK and Europe for the holiday season a tasteful and touching slice of home while we look forward to a promising new year. And I want to say kudos to everyone involved in this. This is such a worthy cause. It will certainly help to connect those Caymanians who are overseas with the opportunity to celebrate Cayman. Although it may be in a different fashion, certainly to get them involved as well. Mm-hmm. Okay. So again, join that virtual event. And I'm going to repeat one more time that on Thursday, tomorrow, the 10th of December, is the last day for you to register for the event. And you can do so by emailing hello, HELLO, at camanconnection.org. We've also been asked to remind people that they should not place bulk items on the east-west arterial, that is Rex Crichton Boulevard, and also at the junction of Hurst Road. If you have approached the junction of Hurst Road, you will see that they've actually had to cordon off some areas there because people have deposited junk in that area. You are not supposed to put it there. You should leave it on your property where it will be picked up, collected from. Do not place it on other person's property. I know in previous years the same thing occurred at the junction there on near Hurst Road, East-West Arterial, and maybe persons assumed that was okay, and that's why they continue to do that, and that is not the case. So you're being asked, do not place further. As a matter of fact, there's a camera located somewhere there, so it might be a good idea for the authorities to sort of like take that camera and aim it more in that area so that the perpetrators can be picked up as well. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 7:59.
This Christmas, let's celebrate all the good things, from the people we love to the food that we can't get enough of.
Foster's is here to help you create a Christmas you'll never forget, with the freshest ingredients, the widest range, and products from around the world.
We receive fresh produce deliveries 7 days a week, jet fresh seafood 3 times a week, and are the exclusive retailer of Waitrose products in Cayman.
So come shop with us this Christmas, from East End to West Bay. We're the island supermarket. Foster's, better because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended August 31st, various life cycle funds provided returns between 9.2% and 16.5%, and our all-in expense ratio is currently the lowest it's ever been, a record low at 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Kersley Fuller. The Public Health Department says it has run out of free flu vaccines. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
Medical Officer of Health Dr. Samuel Williams Rodriguez says the uptake of the vaccine this year has been higher than previous years, with some 4,000 shots administered. The HSA has ordered another 2,000 vaccines and is waiting on delivery. Dr. Williams Rodriguez says once those additional vaccines arrive, the Health Services Authority will resume its community outreach and flu vaccines in general practice clinics. In the meantime, the HSA's flu clinic at the Cayman Islands Hospital is open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's for people who have flu symptoms. Remember, they are out of the flu shot right now. So far this flu season, officials say the number of reported cases has been relatively low, by the way, with an average of 21 people per week reporting influenza-like illnesses. Last year, the weekly average was 123 flu cases. The public will be advised as soon as the flu vaccine is available again. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
Anyone with flu symptoms is reminded to first contact the 24-hour flu hotline to speak to a health professional about their symptoms prior to visiting the flu clinic. Contact 1-800-534-8600 or email flu@hsa.ky. The dedicated flu clinic is located at the Cayman Islands Hospital in the area previously occupied by the physiotherapy department, left of A&E. In other news,
part of a 6-week intervention program being implemented by DVDL to clear the backlog of appointments for driving and written tests due to the closure of the department earlier this year as a result of COVID.
Director at the Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing, David Dixon, says officers at the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service and Fire Service have undergone training and are now certified driving examiners.
It will improve operation by DVDL by putting more examiners on the road to reduce down our road tests. Currently, with our 2 in-house examiners working full-time, we're only doing 14 road tests a day. So if we were to increase it with those extra personnel, we will be seeing ourselves doing approximately 42 additional road tests a day, which is a tremendous help.
The DVDL has implemented other means to ease customer experience.
And right now, we have the call center up and running. and person wishing to book for the written and road test can call that center at 945-8344, option 1, to make those appointments, and they must have the credit and debit card information available for those bookings. Come the first quarter of next year, we intend to roll out our online booking of written and road tests, thereby increasing our customer services.
Mr. Dixon says the DVDL aims to hire 2 extra driver examiners after the new year. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with David Harper. A new United Nations report has found that the richest 1% of people in the world are responsible for more than twice the volume of carbon emissions compared to the poorest 50%. The UN says extremely wealthy individuals need to significantly curtail their carbon-emitting habits. A court in the Netherlands has dismissed a demand by Greenpeace that it block more than $40 billion of state aid to the airline KLM. The package, which was agreed in June, was conditional on the airline reaching new environmental and pollution targets and cutting costs. Members of President-elect Joe Biden's coronavirus task force say they expect that it will take at least a year for the United States to achieve herd immunity to COVID-19. That would result from a combination of a mass vaccination program and growing levels of immunity already in the population. In Germany, Chancellor Angela Merkel said the country will not be able to vaccinate enough of its citizens against the coronavirus to change the course of the pandemic in the first quarter of next year. She said people had not reduced their contact with others to a sufficient degree. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, we share our warmest wishes for the holiday season and a happy new year. Thank you for your continued support in business. We look forward to serving you in the upcoming year. For information as it happens, follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and visit our website, chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was...
2020 vision, not the year.
Right.
Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Camanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
Are you ready for the reggae show of the year? Bacardi presents One Love concert series, bringing to you Mr. Notch and Locomotion 345, Stuart Wilson, Erica Assad, and DJ Nico. It's going down Saturday, December 12th at Coral Beach. Tickets only $25. VIP inclusive drink $65. Cabana packages $200. Available now at eventpro.ky.
Brought to you by Bacardi, Burger Shack, Supermix, Rubis, and Radio Cayman.
Hey Chrissy, what a great spot for lunch. I haven't been here in ages. Right? I haven't either. I saw it on Experience Cayman and remembered how good it is. What's that? It's a free online festival showcasing all the great ideas to do in Cayman. You should check it out. That's so cool. I will for sure. Now, what are you having?
Experience Cayman is a celebration of everything local. To rediscover all the best things to see and do in the Cayman Islands, visit gov.ky/Experience Cayman. And follow Experience Cayman on Facebook and Instagram. Brought to you by the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. current temperature is 76 degrees. Relative humidity is 65%. The barometric pressure 30.09 inches and rising. The wind is north at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 74 degrees. Synopsis indicate fresh northerly winds and rough seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system builds over the western Gulf of Mexico. Radar images show no showers in the Cayman area. Now the forecast for today and tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. And temperatures will be in the high 70s, still cool today, and winds will be north to northeast at 15 to 20 knots. And temperatures will fall to the low 70s tonight. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet, especially along the west and north coast, and small craft should exercise caution over open waters for today and tonight as well. Low tide will be this morning at 11:43, high tide this evening at 5:18. The sun will set this evening at 5:47 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:49. And the outlook is calling for moderate winds and seas from tomorrow morning as the high-pressure system weakens over the southeast United States. That's the very latest on your weather report.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life, inspire others to bring out the leader in you.
By the words of motivational speaker and author Simon Sinek, author of Leaders Eat Last, Why Some Teams Pull Together and Others Don't. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader.
Change your thinking, change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. On the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is busy, as well as coming off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. Steady traffic off Bobby Thompson Way. Light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive as we look to Godfrey Nixon Way, and Eastern Avenue traffic is flowing at a good pace. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic heading to Georgetown is moderate, and moderate flow of traffic from Georgetown to West Bay. And on Shedden Road, things looking pretty good. Traffic flowing nicely. Steady traffic in some sections of Crew Road. Other sections busy. And coming from the Esterly Tibbetts Highway to the Butterfield Roundabout, steady traffic but flowing. And traffic also from the Butterfield Roundabout heading towards the Industrial Park is steady but flowing. And Compass Way and North Sound Road, traffic flowing moderately. Coming from the West Bay four-way stop, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 for another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket. Have a good morning and make it Subway.
At Subway, we want to express our sincere appreciation for your support this year. We're still here because of you. Because you took care of us during a difficult time, let us take care of you and your family this holiday season. It's been a stressful year. You don't need the stress of planning big holiday dinners or parties. Just give us a call. We'll make it easy and work with you to plan your special occasion. Enjoy our catering, boxes, gift certificates, and of course, our delicious cookies and new flavors. We thank you for supporting local. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Rotary. We've been part of the beginnings, the then and now of the Francis Bodden Girls' Home in Bodden Town and the Bonaventure Boys' Home in West Bay. Rotary Central, along with community partners assisting students to overcome barriers on their path of learning during this pandemic, thousands of dollars in laptops. Support for the annual Rotary Island-wide health check and diabetes training by Rotary. The National Blood Bank, supported by Rotary since 1999. Lives saved, lives restored. Just a little of what we've done and continue to do. Rotary opens opportunities.
Radio Cayman News.
We can require that everybody coming into the country would need to have a vaccine before they enter.
Last weekend's breach of the quarantine at residence protocols landed 6 people in mandatory quarantine.
There was never any intention to hide this. Finally had a chance to do my due diligence.
But it took a year and more to find out the misunderstanding.
We hope to open the Caribbean's first Hotel Indigo in 2024.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me now, member of the Cayman Islands Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. Mr. Bryan, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Corner. Good morning, Miss Susan. And good morning to your listening audience via YouTube, via the radio, and across the world. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. I want to first start off by saying happy holidays to everybody. Hopefully this morning we can send a little bit of happiness, because I must say that 2020 has been a rather difficult year. And I know we've all been through some sort of pressure one way or the other, and I am looking forward to the end of this month, because I am counting on 2021 to be that year that changes back to some normalcy and some positivity, because we've had a rough year. I mean, not we only the Cayman Islands, but the whole world has been so unique. OC, this is the last show before the holidays, so I just want to go through a few things. As you know, we were in Parliament this week.
We said the last show for you.
Show for me, yes, correct. My apologies. I don't want to listen on and to think that nobody else would be on, but my Wednesday won't fall again until January.
Yeah, we're actually going to be returning on air on the 11th of January.
It's a good long break. I think you deserve it too.
Yeah.
So that being said, I want to just talk a little bit about some of the things that are coming before the Legislative Assembly, and also to rehash a little bit of what we've been through over the last year, and to give some thanks and being grateful for being able to survive through the chaos, not only physically by being alive and above ground, though we have lost some special people, but surviving as a government and as a people to keep us safe and our economy still going. So those are some of the things I want to touch on today. I think I'm probably better off starting with the fact that we're having a community event with Central Scranton this Friday. I think it's important that I highlight that. The price is running. Let me just find the flyer. Here we go. So as you know, for those who follow myself and particularly the Central Scranton Community Committee, they're having their annual Christmas party, and that will be coming up on December the 11th, Friday.
Okay.
They will have some music, poems, food, prizes and surprises for everybody like they normally do. And it's usually mainly for the seniors, but they're expecting more people to bring their families. We want everybody to have as much fun as possible. The time will be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and the venue is at Central Scranton Park. Most of us who are Georgetowners know where that is. And this is not only for Central as the constituency, but the whole of Georgetown altogether. The Central Scranton Community Committee has always been minded to try to extend everything they do outside of the constituency or the area of Central Scranton, because they're mindful for the whole of Georgetown. They see Georgetown as one big family and not into this political breakup. So,
and of course, they're famous for their cooking and their food and stuff like that.
Yes,
so.
Yes. And I wanna really send a special thanks to Miss Jean Ramon. As you know, she was selected as our representative for our culture for the District of Georgetown, and she was awarded recognition and special gifts and stuff over the time that they were being highlighted in the media. But she has been the heart and soul of this continued community spirit by way of her transferring that spirit to her kids and then to the rest of the community members. Persons like Christine Burke, persons like Miss Lucille Seymour, Miss Miles. As we know, Dale has been the leader, so to speak, in continuing that spirit. So I want to really congratulate the committee for continuing to do this.
Yes.
I don't know what would be happening in Central Scranton without their continued love and commitment to the Georgetown area together as a whole. So come on down this Friday. That's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. They'll have great food and music and a good little time to chill and relax. Bring your family and join and eat some good food. Particularly to those seniors, I will definitely be there. I intend to bring some gifts myself to give out to a few persons. So please come on down and join us.
Okay.
Yes?
We have one caller. We're going to grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C. and Mr. Kenneth.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm pretty good, but I don't want to throw cold water on your program, but I got something I'd like to say briefly about the marathon on Sunday.
Okay.
This is Tommy Borden. I guess you recognize who it is, but
certainly, yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Tommy.
And that you know who it is. I'm concerned about these marathons that are held. Look like all over Georgetown. They block off nearly every street. But Sunday morning, and this is the second occasion this has happened to me, between Smith Barcadere and Grand Old House, I was coming out to prayer meetings on Sunday morning, and about 100 feet in front of me, I saw this man running toward me in my lane, center of my lane, coming. I was going north, he was going south, or anyway, opposite direction.
Right.
And I had to swerve when I saw him to miss him. No light, no reflector, nothing whatsoever. Just this man running by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I went a good distance more down, maybe by Grand Old House, there was a police car sitting in the middle of the two lanes, between the two lanes, with their lights on bright, nearly blinding me. I didn't even know which side to go around them, but I kept to the left side. When I got to them, I stopped and I told them how dangerous this incident was. And I said, well, it's only once a year, and that. You don't take one time to kill someone too.
That's true.
I am very concerned about it. I don't understand why they had to block both lanes, allow people to run on the wrong side on the wrong lane in the wrong direction, because there was no indication there was any race going on when I came out of Webster's. I was going normally into town, and all of a sudden, it couldn't have been more than 100 feet of him hitting me when I realized the man was heading straight for me, or I straight for him.
Mm-hmm.
No one riding alongside. Now, whether the police car was accompanying him, I don't know, but they were still two people in the car in the middle of the road, and like I say, I stopped and told them what had just happened. They might have seen it, I don't know, but it wasn't too far from where they were.
Did you cross other runners as you got further down?
Not there, no. Up here, I passed a couple, but then it was a bicycle riding alongside of one.
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that they should do. Have someone riding alongside them.
They did have that. I don't think they had it for every runner. Normally, they would have a bicycle accompanying the lead runner, and then they would have cyclists along the way trying to assist people, and then they normally have a cyclist accompany the last person in as well. And the reason I asked that question was trying to determine whether or not that was the lead runner that you had passed, and the other runners may have been farther behind. But your concern certainly has to be noted. And what the organizers need to consider is those side streets where people will be entering the roads there, that they should put something to caution drivers that there's a race going on. That to happen. But then what they do is block it off, and sometimes it's minutes before you see anybody else come in. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. Even it might be thousands of people, they don't have more than a single file, basically. Why do they need to block both lanes and interrupt the traffic so much? I've complained about this several times, and I'm complaining again. I had to go all around town. They wouldn't even let me in some places. No one was in sight. They wouldn't even let me in to go through part of town. I had to turn around, go back on Shade Road up by the bypass there on the Hulder, or whatever it is, Thomas Russell Road. Go all around again. You don't know. I don't know if they take into account how inconvenient it is, and I'm not the only one that was being inconvenienced. But it also makes me get late when I have to go all around town, because I have to crisscross town anyway to pick up people. But I don't see any reason why they need to block the whole road. Why not just block the lane that they're going to be running in, and have people monitoring it, that people can at least drive, even if they got to slow down, to be able to get access to it. But they point blank tell you, no, you can't go through it. And sometimes there's no one in sight, and it's very disgusting and interrupting. And I don't understand why they don't take something into consideration other than just these people, one or two people running on the road, one behind the other, sometimes hundreds of feet in between. But that's I must say, Mr. Tommy, in defense of that those lead ones, they're very few, but when you have something like about 800 participants, it's very difficult to just block off one lane. I'm not sure how they handled it this year with the COVID-19 situation, whether or not they had a mass start or whether they had staggered starts for runners, because I didn't assist them this year. Normally, I would go out there, and some of my cycling friends will go out there and assist. But I do know that there were people there. I'm sure, and I hope and I trust that someone is listening, and that they will certainly take your suggestions into consideration as well, Mr. Tommy. Thank you very much for that. We're going to try to grab another caller before we go to our commercial break. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, OC.
Good morning.
I seldom call, but I always listen. But I really feel led this morning to speak about what happened Sunday morning going to church. All the roads were closed except the one up at the airport, because they're having a marathon on a Sunday morning. I mean, everybody know what we usually do on a Sunday. And I think it's ridiculous to sit down and let everybody be over us. When I say that, I mean, like, we know that this is a Christian nation. Sunday morning, most people go to church. And then you can't get to the church because they're having a marathon? Come on, man. Must be somewhere we can work this thing out. Because it just seems like the more, and I know we are all also a manly nation, but it don't seem to be getting us in a place. You have to make noise, you have to speak up. And that's why I'm speaking this morning, because I am up to my neck with keeping quiet and not seeing us as Christians speak out, because it seems like the whole world just want to swallow you up and ignore you. And I think it's ridiculous on a Sunday morning to have streets closed off. I remember when we were having the march, the demonstration about the same-sex marriage. Cars in and out. No closed off streets that day. But any other foolishness, the whole place is closed off.
Good point.
Like the Pirates Week. I couldn't get to the Good News Club because of when the Pirates Week was on. Everything closed down and the streets are blocked with traffic. It's just ridiculous. I think we need to make a noise, you people, you Christian people. We need to make a noise because we're being cast off and disrespected. And it's not our job altogether, but we just have a voice and we should use it. That's all I have to say. And I'm sorry to be complaining because we are a nation that's blessed above the normal.
Yes.
And I just feel this morning that it is time that we speak up.
Okay. We've heard you loud and clear.
Almighty God, and I'm a daughter of the Most High God. And there's really nothing that can't change, once He approves. And I know that we don't have to question these things. We know where we stand with that. Okay. So God bless you all.
Thank you very much. All the best to you too. We're going to take a commercial break. I believe we still have another caller on hold, Miss Susan. We will take that caller as soon as we return. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers, your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Ropers also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. 122 Industrial Way, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers and stay prepared. 949-2511. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Phone Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs, with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
UCCI students, have you registered for classes in the spring 2021 semester? Class registration takes place until January 8th. Classes start January 11th. Spring into action. Visit ucci.edu.ky/myucci. Call 623-8224 or email admissions@ucci.edu.ky for more information.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. 2 callers on hold. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning. I'll see you and Kenny.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
I'm very thankful I am particularly worried of the continuous trend that we are seeing, and the judge who sentenced the last person who
breached the quarantine.
Didn't do us any justice there, because as far as I'm concerned, that breach of quarantine can equate to involuntary manslaughter, if you want to go to that distance, because we are seeing these travelers. There are positives within the travelers coming in here, and to breach quarantine and get a slap on the wrist, it's really not. Why did the premier and his government and the other members of parliament go down to the Legislative Assembly and make this law to impose the $10,000 fine if the magistrate is gonna be just no, we're gonna just charge you what's like something hundred and give you community service.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. The judge should never do that. It send a very bad signal. So somebody come here and they just decide, well, you know something? I know I got COVID, but I can poison them off. They're down there boasting that they got the lowest COVID in the region. I can poison them off. And then when, we got 30,000 people, infected with COVID, the judges need to stop that nonsense. They got to send the message and send it hard. Right? I mean, okay. So you go and you get caught in DUI. I want to just put it in perspective now. You get caught in DUI. Don't care what attorney you got that goes to mitigate for you. You are going to lose your license for a minimum of 12 months. Okay?
Right.
But we got some clown that comes here and told that he's got a quarantine, he or she's got a quarantine, and breached that quarantine. I don't care for what reason. You told you got quarantine. And you could possibly have a virus that could kill thousands of people. And you can get a slap on the wrist. And there's no mandatory sentencing, but the lawmakers went there and put it in place, and you're going to get a slap on the wrist? I say shame on them. Very much shame on them. Because we need to understand that it just takes just one of these clowns to get this back in community spread. And we're going to be in a very bad position. Again,
I have to agree.
Now, OC, I'm not giving this a break. I got to find out what's happening with the Camanian pilot. I not heard one thing since.
Well.
I got to know what happened, because if it had been one of them little Camanians, we were going to make sure that he get put away, or that something drastically happened to him. I need to find out what happened to this Camanian pilot, and I'm not stopping. And by God, I'm not going to stop until I find out what happened to him.
Okay, and of course we have Mr. Brian here. When you and I spoke last, we said hopefully that a PQ, parliamentary question, would be asked in that regard. Not when you were here, Mr. Brian. When me and the caller.
Okay.
Were
well, I must
discussion before.
I must say that in the last sitting of the House, good morning, caller, by the way. In the last sitting of the House, this matter came up. I can't recall what was said by the managing director for Camanian Ways in respect to it, but I think he said something like it was an ongoing investigation or something to that sort. But you're right. We can't just let these things go, because in most cases, if it's the Camanian that is involved, they will throw the book at you. And I'm almost certain if it were Camanian who were to breach the quarantine, in most cases, they'll throw the book at them too there. So there seems to be a bias. I think everything that you said this morning are legitimate concerns to be brought to the attention of the government and asked them what their position is. I must say that I haven't put anything forward to the Legislative Assembly this sitting of the House because I'm hoping to try to stay as uplifted as I possibly can for the month of December. We've had a hard year, so I'm not going to be, putting any pressure on the government, so to speak, and try to see if this relationship can work well, at least for the month of December, for the good, for the best interest of the people's spirit through this month. But I am intending to bring it to the attention of the Premier as soon as I go into the legislative or the Parliament today about this quarantining breaches, because many persons like yourself have called me directly, truly and genuinely concerned for their lives. It's no longer just another breach, and it becomes like the laughing stock of the island in respect to this, and the government needs to say something, because you're right. What's the point of bringing new legislation to do enforcement if the judges are not using that tool necessary to deter persons from breaching the quarantine? People are going to say, oh, I may just get a little small fine, even though it's 10,000. I may just get community service for 5 hours, 10 hours, whatever. So you're right, and I know that as a former police officer, the importance of enforcement and how you get persons not to break the law is by strong enforcement. And it doesn't seem to be translating to the community this seriousness of this. And I tell you the truth, if I was the Premier, I would instruct the Chief Justice to respond to why the legislation that we created for them to use as a tool, as a deterrent, is not being used in the appropriate way. Because we have to put that fear out there that do not mess around when you go to the Cayman Islands. If you were in one of those Asian countries, say, for instance, the Philippines or in China, you could not do such a thing. I mean, they'll put you in solitary within a second. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to our lives, particularly our seniors who are most vulnerable, I think the caller is right to say this could be, what did you term it as, an involuntary manslaughter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is that serious. We're not going to take it serious until something actually happens, and then everybody's going to be crying about it.
But can we tie the judge's hands in terms of having some discretion? Not every situation may be the same, or the circumstances may not be the same. And I think it's very difficult for legislators to tie the hands of of judges.
Well, they've tried
to say that the fine must be $10,000 as opposed to up to $10,000.
No doubt. But there've been cases where they have done so, mm-hmm. and you can't say it's not legal to do so. We are allowed to do so, mm-hmm. because we are the representatives of the people. Mm-hmm. Now, if the people sent us there to say, listen, we want you to take a strong stand on this, tell the judges that they have to, then that's what it is, because we are the representatives of the people. Mm-hmm. Now, we've had cases, particularly with the gun charges, where it was a mandatory 10 years. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, they made amendments to that because they saw there's mitigating circumstances and it shouldn't be so harsh. But having a gun and potentially shooting one person is different than spreading a disease that can kill everybody. Okay. So, caller, what I'm saying is, your strong stance and approach to this nonsense, I share with you, and I'm going to be expressing my concerns to the Premier. Now, granted, I am not the person in charge, but if I was there, I would be taking the same approach that you took, because they even have said that there is a vaccine. But only God knows how long that's going to be. And many Caymanians don't even want to even take it, even when it comes here. So I still think that our best, safest practice is to ensure our proper practices in respect to hygiene, as well as to let people know we're not playing games when it comes to quarantine. If you want to come here, we could put ourselves at risk where we will shut the island down again. And I think the caller has highlighted that. So I'm not going to go any further with that, but I agree with you, caller, in respect to your thoughts.
I want to thank that caller very much. We're going to try to grab one more call before we go to the commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Season greetings, gentlemen.
Same to you. Thank you very much.
How are we doing this morning?
I'm fine. And
good morning, sir.
Yourself?
Good morning, sir. I'm Mr. Brian, right?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning. Well, we're into the Christmas season right now. And I'm sure everyone is enjoying the weather. me myself, and coming up a birthday on Friday. Thank God. Hopefully I'll live to see it. But I'd really like to come to the point the other callers was talking about on the Sunday. Sunday is part of our heritage, and it's one of the main cornerstones of our foundation. It is disheartening what I see going on, and I don't hear a lot of people that I would be expecting to support what they're saying and what I'm saying. It seems that everything, whether it's ungodly or whatever, it's left till Sunday. Sunday is our day of worship. There's no reason why everything has to be left till Sunday. All of the things that is not so fitting within our society is left to do on Sunday, man. Come on, give us a break. Stand up for your country. This is our heritage, our island. Our Christian heritage calls for Sunday to be a day of rest. Well, some people probably want to go to the beach and you can't knock everything, but all of these things I see going on Sunday, construction, gardening, and why you have to leave it till Sunday? You got 6 days before Sunday, and yet we have people leaving Sunday to do all of this stuff. Why? Don't you guys not see? Because I'm sure OC and Mr. Brian as well, when you were growing up, Sunday was every day. So why should it be cast aside now because someone else come in and say, well, you know, this and that, and because they have this to do? No. You do that from Monday till Saturday. Lay down your tools on Sunday. Go to church because we are being so blessed this year. Look at the virus. Look at the earthquake. Come on, man. There's so many things that we have to give God thanks for. Look at the hurricane season. And yet we brush this aside so easy. Gentlemen, I'm not going to hold you up because it's getting near to something else for you to do, but I would hope that we emphasize and try to gather a little bit more gumption and keep our Sunday where it should be. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We have to take a commercial break. Ms. Susan, how many more calls do we have on hold? 2 more callers on hold. We will take those calls as soon as we return. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Green Turtle. Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Thinking of getting a hybrid but don't know much about them? Vamped Motors has lots of great reasons why you should choose the new Toyota CHR Hybrid for a new ride. Hybrids save fuel, run cleaner, reduce CO2 emissions, and even recharge their batteries while being driven, so you don't ever have to worry about plugging them in. Plus, the CHR Hybrid is reliable, providing up to 1 million kilometers on the same battery and engine. And its sporty subcompact SUV look makes it fun as well as economical to drive. So stop by Vamped Motors to treat yourself this Christmas to a new fuel-efficient, eco-friendly Toyota CHR, starting from $31,900 while stock lasts. Happy holidays from all of us at Vamped Motors on Walkers Road.
If you enjoyed The Honeymoon Over, you're going to love the sequel, Fat Chats. Once again, the Harco Theater will be coming live and direct into your homes and vehicles. As the Cayman National Cultural Foundation, CNCF performs Fat Chance on Radio Cayman. You can join us right here on Radio Cayman every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Starting November the 18th until December 23rd. We will have a repeat of each week's episode airing every Saturday at 6:45 p.m. beginning on November 21st and ending on December 26th. Don't miss it.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MP Mr. Kenneth Bryan. Two callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
And good morning to your guests.
Good morning, sir.
OC, you spoke before the break, excuse me, about not tying the judge's hands and giving them discretion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the traffic law has provisions for against drunken driving, and it ties the judge's hands, and it does not give them a discretion if you find statutory drunk.
Okay.
It's an automatic
suspension.
Disqualifications. Mm-hmm. There are no exceptional circumstances. Once you're found guilty, or you plead guilty, it's an automatic. The minimum suspension is 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
You can be suspended from driving, and the reason for that, OC, is so that person who's been found guilty or who pled guilty for drunken driving does not go out and hurt himself or hurt other people on the road.
Got you. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the COVID thing is similar, but let me give you what's happening here with the two scenarios. I was in court with a young lady last year, the later part of this year, who pleaded guilty to drunken driving. And she had some other issues also in the traffic court. I asked for a CIR, a social inquiry report, and that is now pending. But as soon as she pled guilty, she was automatically disqualified because the law says you have to do that. Yeah? Now, looks like you and I. She's looked like you and I was sitting in court a couple of weeks ago, and a Caucasian lawyer and a Caucasian woman came into court, and the Caucasian lawyer, the Caucasian pleaded guilty for the same offense, drunken driving.
Mm-hmm.
And the law says that automatically her license should have been suspended at the time, and her license had to be turned in to the court. But what did the magistrate do? On the plea of the lawyer, the magistrate allowed sentencing to not take place until January, with no suspension, and allowed the woman to be driving on the road while she has pleaded guilty for drunken driving until January.
Mm-hmm. But you couldn't get a social inquiry report on your client.
I did get a social inquiry report on my client, but be that as it may, my client was automatically.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes, sir. But now, Doc, one question, and I know you making the analogy between the driver DUI and, but when we're looking at a situation where there's a fine, maximum $10,000, if, for argument's sake, we would put it and say an automatic fine of $10,000, no discretion, what does that do to the person who can't afford, the little man who can't afford that $10,000 because you have fixed it at that, and the judge does not have any discretion whatsoever? That person then, if they can't afford it, ends up having to go to jail.
See, that's not a good argument, because what Mr. McFeel is saying is there's some small man who may get caught drinking too, who need his driver's license to go to work, and it's going to affect his life too, but he obviously made that decision and recognized that he was driving drinking. It's the same thing when you breach quarantine, you recognize you're putting people's lives at risk. There's no excuse for it.
But you can't, the two are not the same. They're not the same.
I don't. I'm of the view that they're the same.
Anyway, let's get Doc's views on it then. Go ahead, Doc.
They're the same because the object of the legislation is to prevent a social or economic incident. In the driving case, it's to prevent you from killing someone on the road. or for killing yourself, or for harming other drivers. And the quarantine system is the same. It's to prevent you from spreading disease into the community that is harmful, that can kill people.
But what do we say to the person then who can't afford the $10,000 if you fix it?
It doesn't matter. The person should not be doing that.
Got you.
They should not be doing that. That's the reason why it's $10,000 is to deter you from even thinking about doing it in the first place.
Okay, I'm a little bit lost on that one, Doc. I'm a little bit lost because we continuously argue about the inequity of the laws that we have and the fines that we impose upon people, and some people can afford it and simply decide to do the crime, pay the fine, and go on their way.
Well, if you can't afford to do the time, then if you can't afford $10,000, go spend 2 weeks in prison. You have the penalty has to be a strong enough deterrent. You can't say, oh, the deterrent is $10,000, but you may end up only paying $500. But studies, it doesn't deter then.
But studies will show you that increasing the penalties really are not a deterrent. We know that. What's the point when there was hanging in the UK, in England, when they were hanging people for things like pickpocketing and stuff like that, while people were out there watching the hanging, what the pickpockets were doing, they were right there pickpocketing. So
but you don't get hung for pickpocketing.
At that time they were.
Well, I tell you what, I'm of the view, and I don't mean to argue with you, and I want to allow the caller to say the piece, but I tell you this. For places in the world where for theft your hand is chopped off, I can promise you this, the numbers of theft is really, really low there. As opposed to anywhere else in the world.
Because they don't have a hand to steal anymore.
That's a good one. Sorry, Carl. I'll allow you to finish your comment.
So you never say that when the term for having a bullet in your house is 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
But a foreigner who comes here and breaks the law, has a bullet in his place, and brings it into the country, and then going back with it, it's a $500 or $1,000 fine. How does that equate to the guy who's spending 10 years in jail?
I think you all are making my point for me.
Pardon me?
I think you're making my point for me.
No, that's not making your point at all. There's no equality across the board in sentencing. There's no equality across the board in sentencing. I don't care if you come here as a foreigner or whatever. If you're paying the law, you are going to spend the same time as the local person who breaks the same law.
Got you. Okay.
And the problem with my case is that I sat there in court and see the magistrate sending the woman home, allow her to drive for another month and more while she's a convicted. Because when she plead guilty, she's convicted herself. She's a drunken driver, and then my client then has to do without her license, and then you say, well, why am I standing in court? Why am I standing? I don't need to be there. I don't need to be there. I need to be someplace else.
Okay. All right, Doc. I want to thank you very much for that. We're going to try to grab one more call before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Mr. Kenneth, how are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. I'm well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Yes, sir. Well, yeah. I'm trying to adjust to the new Cayman, but you do the crime, you pay the time, and like what Mr. Mark Field say, I mean, the law is the law. If it's $10,000 for doing this, that is full be across the board to everybody. It's not supposed to be because you're Mr. So-and-so, we can give it to you for $800 or something. No, not it. But, it seems to me, gentlemen, like Cayman has become a modernized Sodom and Gomorrah, because everything is, Christianity is thrown out the window. We don't have no more Christianity here. The people that come here, well, I would love for those old folks, see, like your mother was a Sunday keeper and a serious one. Am I wrong?
Yeah, she was. There was certain. Well,
my mother went to church on Sunday. Sent me to Sabbath school on Saturday. Sent me to church on Sunday as well. I couldn't go to, out to Hogstye Bay to swim on a Sunday afternoon when all of my other friends went out there to swim. But so there were families at that point in time who adhered to that, and there were families who simply went ahead and did whatever they wanted to do on a Sunday as well. And that's going to prevail. We're not going to change that, no matter how much we talk about it. We're not going to change that.
Yeah, but it wasn't many, but Cayman were known as a Christian nation, and the rest of the people that come in here, they don't want to do that. It's only one thing that they see in Cayman: money, and living good and free, no tax or anything. And I feel so bad to see how the Cayman Islands is going. And you know what? Sorry to say, the government really don't care. The government don't really care, because I know every one of those politicians in there, how they grew up when they were young. They grew up in a Christian island with respect for the days of worship, you know. But it is so sad, and I don't know, there ain't no more coming back. But I hope that Cayman would one day again get a government that would keep the laws of the land how it was, because Cayman is a blessed island.
Okay. Caller, we have to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. I want to thank you very much, folks. Please stay tuned. For the record, with MP, Mr. Kenneth Bryan will continue after headline news.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have, on the island.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported the results of 272 COVID tests on Tuesday. One came back positive, an asymptomatic traveler who was tested during routine screening. There are 1,357 people in isolation. People with a history of significant allergic reaction should not take the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine, according to regulators. It came after 2 NHS workers had allergic reactions on Tuesday. The advice applies to those who've had reactions to medicine, food, or vaccines. The 2 people had a reaction shortly after getting the vaccine, and they were treated and are both fine. Infections in the United States have passed 15 million as President-elect Joe Biden vows to provide 100 million vaccinations in his first 100 days in office. Campaigners have accused rich countries of hoarding doses of the COVID vaccine, leaving poorer countries able to vaccine only 1 in 10 people. And a cruise has returned to Singapore on day 3 of a 4-day trip after passengers tested positive for COVID-19. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
your voice, your choice, your radio.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Mr. Bryan has stepped out for a second. He will be back in the studio in a few minutes. Meanwhile, we'll go to the callers. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. Okay. We have no caller, Mr. Bryan. Someone has sent a WhatsApp message and said, I would like to know if Mr. Kenneth Bryan is now able to support a move to have the speaker sacked, since by his own admission he is guilty of multiple assaults.
Well, I kind of suspected a text like that would come in at some stage today. So I just want to say that at this particular point, I queried last night whether the matter was resolved before the court, because we've been warned about proceedings before the court. And to my recollection, there is still a small matter that is outstanding for the judge to come back on.
But that doesn't change his guilty plea in respect of the other offenses.
True. I'm trying my best not to talk too much about this, but just to give you a little bit of background information, recognizing that will have a position once it's completed in respect to his.
Starting to sound like
case.
a Republican now in relation to Trump.
Thank you so much, Mr. Connor. But that being said,
I couldn't resist that one.
I see you can't resist yourself. I'm trying my best to answer the question.
No. People have to respect that. Yeah.
So the answer is simply, the background is that it is a summary court matter. Therefore, if the matter was to go to an appeal, and could be appealed before a grand court, could be before a jury, as well as the judge themselves has not completed the case. I do recognize that
because the sentencing phase hasn't come about even with the guilty pleas.
Yes, and if my information is correct, because I've been trying to stay away from it as much as possible, but I do recognize that there is a matter to be addressed from a parliamentary perspective, and we'll see how that goes in respect to all members. But until that is completed fully, I know some people feel that it's finished, but as a member of parliament, I want to wait till I am certain that all the parts of the matter before the court is completed, so I'm not in any way stepping out of my boundaries or could be seen to be affecting anything by my comments. So
or jumping the gun.
There will be time for that, and I understand that many people want an answer ASAP, and I even heard that there's some developments in the coming days. But for this point, I'm going to wait till the case is fully completed, which I think should be done in short order.
Okay, excellent. We have another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm good, thank you. I am calling about the marathon that was held on Sunday. And I think it is important that I experienced it, and I have to say that in all of my time living in this country, which is most of my life, I have never experienced anything like that. I live in the center of Georgetown, and I was in that traffic to go to church that morning. And I arrived late to church, quite late actually. I was stuck standstill traffic, and what I found most egregious is the insensitivity to trying to balance the needs of all groups in our society.
Yes, correct.
The Walker's Road was largely blocked off, I think, from many directions. And that road has about 5 churches, at least 5 that I can think of, and most of them being Sunday worshiping churches. Right?
That's correct.
Then I had to go through Windsor Park. It took forever for me to actually move from the hospital 4-way stop to get into Windsor Park. When I finally got there, I found that they had the road open part way, but then they had some strange red carpet with barriers in the middle of the road into the roadway that I am supposed to use. And then they had personnel from the marathon outside the barriers, even further into the roadway, which forced me as a driver to have to compete not only with them, but also vehicles coming from the other side of the traffic. Right? And then I went to breakfast on the West Bay Road, and I assumed, unfortunately for my part, quite wrongly, that by 11-something this would be all over, and roads were still blocked in town.
Yep.
And there were no runners. That was the most fantastical part about it. So I really do, I actually lay the responsibility, quite frankly, at both the feet of the organizers and the RCIPS, who is responsible for making sure that if they're going to create provisions for these kinds of activities, which I welcome, because some of them are for good causes, but there must be a balance. And the reason I also say there must be a balance, because I am also aware that there was another public function being held to support small businesses in the Georgetown area the Saturday night. And without notice, this location had to be moved onto another street from what I perceive to be the inflexibility of persons participating in this marathon and the government itself. So I think a long, hard look needs to be taken about the kind of decision making that is going to go on moving forward with this marathon that is quite large or any other marathon, to make sure that the least disruptive routes are used, that they are mindful of other road users, and not just road users, people who are going to very specific activities. And might I add, going to exercise their right to worship.
It's a religious right.
Constitutional right.
It's not just our cultural, part of our cultural identity, but it's still part of our cultural identity. It is enshrined in the preamble of our Constitution. Right? So a lot has been said, and I hope that the powers that be are listening. If they're not listening, I know that Radio Cayman retains this information. If a copy could be sent
to the organizers,
the organizers and to the RCIPS, so that they can cogitate on these issues and make sure next year they have, because I don't believe that any of the Cayman community has been unsupportive of this event historically. And so there is always that balance of trust and cooperation that must exist in a society so that we can all work together.
Yeah.
And I think, quite frankly, what happened this year was people feeling of being trampled upon. I went to church really upset. And I had to ask God to forgive me for entering his house upset. And then I came back from breakfast. I got upset again. I was like, I had to again.
Not to mention the things that you may have said under your breath, right? You had to ask forgiveness for that too.
No, but truly, part of people's worship is to seek solace, to seek comfort in things that are beyond them, for somebody who that they seek guidance from. And in my case, it's God and Jesus Christ, okay, and the Holy Trinity. Yeah. So the fact that I have to feel that I have gone into church sinning my soul, and then I leave church and come back again and feel I'm sinning my soul again, is not a good thing, because I feel like I failed. It's an emotional, psychological, and spiritual impact on the individual.
Yeah. Caller, I'm wondering whether or not, because the marathon has a history to it, but one of the questions that maybe need to be asked now is whether or not it is appropriate to have it on the waterfront where it's done. We have the eastern end of the island. We have the whole of Queens Highway, East End, going out to Rum Point in those areas there. Not to say that those people, they have their churches out there as well, so we don't want to impose anything on them. But there are other areas on this island where it can take place with least disruption to especially the churches, because like you said, at least 5 churches in your area. When Mr. Tom Barton called this morning, I can think of his church, I can think of the Presbyterian church, I can think of the other church on Walker's Road that is within a 1 mile perimeter or less of where that marathon started. So they may have to reconsider where it is held and the route and where it is started.
Absolutely. There needs to be due consideration moving forward, and I will strongly encourage the parties to do so.
Yep.
Anyway, that's my input for the day.
Thank
and
you.
Have a great day.
Much appreciated. You have a happy holiday as well.
Thank you.
Let's grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Something to say, that would be great.
Okay.
I know we're taking a lot of calls, but I would like to have some comments.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you to that caller for her succinct, to the point argument, and some from a legal perspective are very on point. I couldn't have said it better, but I will give the commitment on the radio today that on behalf of those who feel the same way, to send a message to the police commissioner that moving forward these things have to be done in that way, considering the fact of our constitutional right to our access to worship. So I'm so glad that she called in, and she did it such in a professional and appropriate, nice manner, whereby she wasn't downgrading the race at all. But she's right. We can find a better compromise than this. So I am committed. I agree. I tried my best not to say too much in respect to her comments while she was speaking, but she put that so beautifully, and I can give the commitment that I will be reaching out to the police commissioner about this matter.
Okay. Let's grab the caller. We still have about 2 minutes before we go to the break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Again, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Ossie, it's me again.
Good morning, Mr. Tommy.
I'm glad that someone else saw and felt the problem that I did on Sunday. I had been promised some time ago by a police official that we would never be blocked from entering the church property, and I was told point blank we had to enter from the side road. It's not only us knowing how to enter from the side road to the church. It is people that might come that wouldn't even know there was a side entrance when they get to the road block and then just get disgusted and go back home or go somewhere else. And apart from the danger that is caused, and let me remind you, it was pitch dark when this person was approaching me.
Yeah, it actually started at 5 o'clock. The marathon started at 5 o'clock.
It was about 6:15 when I met this one in the middle of my lane, and I'm still contending that they do not need to block the whole road off for one row of people running along the one road or one lane or the other. They just need to have people to kind of direct them to stay there and watch for the traffic, and the people would still be able to slow down and still be able to access these places without having to go around town to get to one place that is 10 times more time, takes 10 times more time than if they're going to a normal route.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Tommy. Yeah.
Brother Tommy, I just want you to know that I'm committed to trying to get resolved to this. I think what needs to happen is the commissioner and much of the Ministers Association needs to sit down and discuss what is the common accepted practice moving forward on matters like this, because we're not talking about only the marathon, but there's other significant events as well that happen, whether it's Parex Week or whatever that is being put on, that the churches have to be considered in respect to that. And I must say that not only from the impracticality, but from the broken window syndrome, if we do not arrest these types of actions from now, it's, in my eyes, a slow diminishing of our culture, particularly that of our religious culture. Now, I respect everybody else's position. You don't have to believe in God. That is your choice. But it is my choice to also believe what I believe, and I should never be deterred from doing that, and no other Camanian should be deterred from doing that. So we have to create that balance. We are a community that is accepting to all, but your way of life cannot impede on what we are as a society. And I recognize that some Camanians may not be Christian anymore, and that's their personal choice. But at this particular point in God's history, there's more Christians than there are anybody else. So you're going to have to respect the fact that democracy is based on majority. So I want to bring that to the attention of the commissioner, as well as sit down with the premier to say, can we please resolve this rather than creating more animosity amongst ourselves? Because, of course, I know that Brother Tommy and his church and all the other members that go to church are not saying, listen, don't have your marathon. That's your choice. They want them to enjoy the life that God made for us, right? But you can't do it by impeding on my opportunity to praise my God. So I'll definitely be bringing it to attention, Brother Tommy.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Green Turtle, modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile, saving lives today.
Hi, I am remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was...
2020 vision, not the year.
Right.
Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Camanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
Tips to stay safe this holiday season. Take the pledge. Plan a safe ride home. Offer to be a designated driver. Ride the Purple Ribbon bus. Drink responsibly. Log on to ndc.ky for bus routes.
Arrive Alive 345. Take the pledge, designate a driver, or ride the Purple Ribbon bus on New Year's Eve. This message is brought to you by the National Drug Council and Radio Cayman.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
So we can go. Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning, Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. Mr. Bryan.
Good morning again to the listening audience. Well, we got a lot of calls already this morning, but I'm pleased because there are some very important matters. That being said, because Parliament starts at 10, I'm going to be leaving a little bit early. But I wanted to say to one of the callers who said his birthday was on Friday coming up, I may not speak to you, or you may not hear the sound of my voice by Friday. So I want to send you a pre-birthday, happy birthday from now. And I hope you enjoy it, and may God's greatest blessings shine upon you. OC, the matters before the court, before the legislative, before the Parliament, I gotta get accustomed to
that. It's more than me got to get accustomed to it.
Yeah.
Of course, mine is sometimes deliberate.
As you know, there's a number of bills before the House, and particularly one that is going to, I think, have much debate. That is the Legal Services Bill. Now, we had time on Monday to still proceed into the night because we are in Christmas season, and I think we're going to be doing some late nights over the next 3 to 4 days. Mm-hmm. But because we were establishing a law to, from here moving forward, because we've changed to a Parliament, that each law will be read as an act of Parliament. So that had to be rectified. I think that the Attorney General suggested that that would be gazetted yesterday by the signature of His Excellency the Governor. Thereby, we can now address all the other laws starting today. The first bill on the order paper is that of the Legal Services Bill, which is going to create some discussion. Now, I know that you've had persons on here speaking about it, some very passionate individuals who I know and respect. I want to say, though, that I think that this bill, though it has many areas of controversy by some views, I think it is important to have a bill passed because of the significance of our legal services and the potential damages it could cause without having the industry regulated properly, particularly that of persons doing Cayman law overseas. Mm-hmm. And
now, that bill will address that?
Yes. Yes. With that being said, there are some areas that are of concern, and I don't have the time to get into the specifics of them, but I'm going to read out for those who may be interested in this legal services bill where my areas of concern are. First, the board makeup, which is on page 25 of the bill, section 3 to 23, and part 2 of the legal services under the legal services board. The other area of concern for me is the minimum one equity partner, which is on page 29, section 28, part 3 of the bill. My third concern was the 3 PQE versus the 5 PQE requirement. I think that's going to have an adverse effect, matter of fact, an inverted effect than what the argument that has been put forward based on behind the scenes negotiations. That falls on page 31, section 33(1) of part 4 of the bill. The other area is the annual compliance certificate, and the concerns I have about the seem concerned about the minimum or the fines if they're not compliant with this certificate. Now, this certificate, just to give you a little background, certificate is basically a certificate of good standing for every firm that has to be done at the end of every year. Mm-hmm. Now, they put a little small fine in there to say if you haven't done it, you got to pay $10,000. I think with many of these major firms, $10,000 is a drop in the bucket. It's a lunch for some of the lawyers going out and having a little party. I think that because of the significance of what that compliance certificate mandates you to do is connected to making sure that Camanians are trained, making sure that they're getting opportunities at going up the ranks inside the firm. And this certificate is a report card every year. Now, if that report card isn't sent to the board to review, then they can't monitor whether or not you are doing the things necessary for Camanians upliftment. Mm-hmm. So hence the reason I'm saying the compliance certificate, even though it covers other areas, it's also a mechanism of monitoring the behavior of the law firms. Hence the reason I think $10,000 fine is not enough, because of the significance of that annual compliance certificate. That is found on page 43 and 44 of the law, section 66, part 8. The other two areas are the local education and training, in particular for Camanians, that is found on page 44 to 46, section 67 to 70, part 9. The other major concern that I have, and I don't think the government is going to accept this, but I've put forward an amendment to the bill already, which is the section 99 that deals with the regulations. Now, I know that OCU may be familiar with affirmative regulations and negative regulations. Mm-hmm. In this bill, where much of the necessary concerns that the public have, particularly those who are in industry, about Camanians getting training opportunities and opportunities to move up the partnership ranks and in the various firms, is in those regulations. But what I'm concerned about is those regulations can be changed by cabinet at any point. They're not automatically having to come to the parliament for them to be addressed and discussed in parliament. So mm-hmm. Cabinet can do it, so to speak, behind closed doors, because cabinet is in private, and make changes to that structure that is going to be agreed upon to make sure Camanians are protected in this industry. Now, I'm concerned that happening behind closed doors could be any government wanting to change it with nobody knowing. I'd rather know that it has to come to the House. If you want to make those changes, tell everybody in the Honourable Parliament, as well as the listening audience, why you have done that. Because as I've been saying for quite some time now, we haven't been doing a very good job with the consultation of changes or bringing laws to the Cayman Islands already as it is. So at the very least, I need to hold you accountable that if you want to make any changes to those regulations on such an important industry like the legal services, which is our number one pillar in our economy, I want to know those changes are not done behind closed doors. I want you to do it in front of the people. So I've made amendments to mandate that the regulations, if they ever want to be changed, quite like the planning laws, regulations, that you have to come to Parliament, have the discussion, and convince at least the majority of the House to vote in favour of those regulations. That way the public can hear the debate and the discussion on the floor of the House as opposed to what is done in Cabinet. I haven't been unable to secure some time with the Honourable Premier and the Attorney General, but the Attorney General has given commitment that we're going to try to squeeze it in at some stage today to discuss some of my concerns, because I must say that the government has been quite busy. So I understand the limited amount of time, but there was a misunderstanding when the offer for discussion about this bill was sent out to the official opposition. I think that the excuse was they didn't realize that I was a part of the official opposition and that I wouldn't have gotten the notification, which is an honest mistake. So I have not had the opportunity to express to the government my concerns about the certain sections of this bill. It would have prevented any potential debate, because maybe there's a viewpoint that they have that they can share with me that I'm unaware of as to why the areas of concerns that I have are the way that they are, that could potentially make me change my mind. I've done as much feedback and research as I can in respect to the areas of concern for me, and I'm focused on those 6 areas. So hopefully, before I give my contribution on the bill, and I don't expect my contribution to be one of any major fighting, government this and government that. I'm just going to offer what I think are some concerns that have been brought to my attention, and that I have come to the conclusion on based on my own assessment of reading the bill. So hopefully it's considered, and maybe they may share the same view and make some amendments. If not, then the government of the day has the majority and have the right to, on behalf of the people of this country, by way of our Constitution, to present this bill. But I do believe that there needs to be some amendments, and I hope that we at least can get a bill passed. I think it's very important for us to find a law that can regulate the practice of Cayman law, particularly overseas, because it can have some serious damages to our rating internationally, as well as us potentially, or could affect us to be on the list, because we're seen to not be properly regulated in respect to our legal services. So that is the legal services. I think we have to go to a break.
Yep. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Thinking of getting a hybrid but don't know much about them? Vampt Motors has lots of great reasons why you should choose the new Toyota CHR Hybrid for a new ride. Hybrids save fuel, run cleaner, reduce CO2 emissions, and even recharge their batteries while being driven, so you don't ever have to worry about plugging them in. Plus, the CHR Hybrid is reliable, providing up to 1 million kilometers on the same battery and engine. And its sporty subcompact SUV look makes it fun as well as economical to drive. So stop by Vampt Motors to treat yourself this Christmas to a new fuel-efficient, eco-friendly Toyota CHR, starting from $31,900 while stock lasts. Happy holidays from all of us at Vampt Motors on Walkers Road.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Ropers. Appliances, dishware, bulk foods, and so much more. With huge savings. Ropers is stocked for your hurricane supplies. Don't cut back on your needs. Cut back on your spending with Ropers. Your neighborhood store. Value. Integrity. Ropers Enterprises. 122 Industrial Way. Call 949-2511. Clean up your spending with Ropers. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Are you ready for the reggae show of the year? Bacardi presents One Love concert series, bringing to you Mr. Notch and Locomotion 345, Stuart Wilson, Erica Asai, and DJ Nico. It's going down Saturday, December 12th at Coral Beach. Tickets only $25. VIP inclusive drink, $65. Cabana packages, $200. Available now at eventpro.ky.
Brought to you by Bacardi, Burger Shack, Supermix, Rubis, and Radio Cayman.
UCCI students, have you registered for classes in the spring 2021 semester? Class registration takes place until January 8th. Classes start January 11th. Spring into action. Visit ucci.edu.ky/myucci. Call 623-8224 or email admissions@ucci.edu.ky for more information.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning, Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. One of our listeners has written and said, could you check into what's happening with travel time, please? Person says passengers arriving yesterday on BA were shuttled to the Wyndham East End only to find that the hotel was full. They had to wait another hour at East End after the long flight to then be shuttled back to other hotels on 7 Mile Beach.
Oh.
That is not what we call coordination at all. I have no reason to doubt what the person has said.
Yeah, well, for one, I'm not. I can't confirm that information, but if that is the case, it's a bit concerning.
Yeah.
But I want to say that the quarantining and the travel times Cayman has been under tremendous amount of pressure. The significance of the role that they play. I'm just hoping that the government is awarding them as much manpower as they need. It is not an easy exercise. It's also a very stressful exercise. They are the persons who are charged with protecting us from a very dangerous virus.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to send some encouragement to the travel team. Listen, if things are chaotic, if you need more assistance, and you're not getting it, I'm not sure if that's the problem. Please reach out to if you're not getting any feedback from the government, let me know. I'll be happy to bring it to the attention of the public. But I don't want I don't want to undermine that team.
Mm-hmm.
That team needs to be uplifted and supported because of the significant role that they play. But I do recognize there are some challenges that we're having with the travel time team. I just want to know whatever the problem is, if there is a solution, I'm here to offer my support for finding that solution, because right now they are probably one of the most important departments or teams in this country. Because if they fail, the economy crashes, we are in danger, our lives are at risk. There's so many things. So let's try to encourage and support, but also put the pressure on the politicians like myself, to make sure that they are having all the resources that they need. Because once you have the support and the tools necessary, we can do this right. And I'm hoping that that's just simply what it is, and that will tighten up. And I'll definitely speak to the Premier and ask, because there's a lot of people are concerned about the quarantining matter. I must say I am too. And I'm hoping that maybe the government will give some words of encouragement to the public to say, listen, yes, we're maybe having a little bump here and there, but we have it under control and we're focused and we are aware and we're trying to resolve any little things that are perceived to be problematic.
Okay.
Yes.
Finish?
Yes.
Okay. One of our listeners has written and said, firstly, I wish to comment on your own comments, that's my comments, about when our parents prevented us from going to the seaside on a Sunday afternoon. Yes, some persons were allowed to go, but I think your caller was more concerned about the amount of construction and gardening which takes place on a Sunday. Then they go on to say, as your recent erudite caller just said, this is our day of rest and part of our Christian heritage, which you agreed is part of our Constitution. I empathize with those persons who were delayed getting to church on Sunday and really hope that the constructive comments are passed on to the appropriate government officials. And then one of our listeners shared with us that there were two starts. One start for the marathon, it started at 4:30, and then another start at 5 a.m. And they also say it is really time to move out east as well. And then I have one more comment here. This one might be a little bit touchy, but this listener says, now that our Legislative Assembly has been renamed Parliament, and it seems as if we want to follow the UK, they hope and they trust that our legislators are now members of Parliament will also speak the King or the Queen's language as well.
Well, I speak Camanian, so I'm not sure about the King or Queen's language. Communication is a very tricky thing. Sometimes even a nod could be communicated. So yes, sometimes as Camanians, our generation of Camanians, our speeches are not
and you're speaking to Camanians.
Yeah, exactly. We're not as articulating very proper as the English manner. But unfortunately, I am a Camanian, so I am quite fine with that. And now, if I'm grammatically incorrect, sometimes I should definitely fix that, because my grammar is not the best in the world. I must say that. Math was my favorite subject, so English wasn't the greatest. But I am comfortable with who I am. Even sometimes I'm even accused. Some members are accused to not sounding Camanian enough. So. I appreciate the concept of what the person is saying, but because we're a parliament, that doesn't mean that we're going to turn into the English. Bermuda has a parliament. That doesn't mean that they're going to speak. I think the grammar concept is maybe where the person is coming from.
Yes,
not necessarily the delivery of the accent.
The dialect or the accent, yeah.
But they're right. Once it's grammatically correct, and we can do better than that. But sometimes it's more so about how we talk as Camanians. Like how we talk, as opposed to trying to be inappropriate in respect to our functioning of our structures of our sentencing.
Okay. We know you have about 4 minutes left.
Yes.
Do you want to? We have another caller wants to know if they want to take a call.
If you don't mind, I would really like to just quickly say a few things before we close up. I want to send a special happy birthday to Mr. Curtis Powell, who is a good friend of mine, a former co-worker at the fire station, and he's my constituent, so happy birthday to him. Also, I want to spend another special happy birthday to Miss Melissa McFeel. Today is her birthday, and Sandy. Happy birthday to both of you. I won't say your ages because that would be appropriate for women, and I've been told that many times. Do not say a woman's age. I also want to say that we have this may be the last time before the voters registration opportunity comes up. So it's important for us to recognize that those of you who are not registered to vote, to get registered to vote. Please get registered to vote, particularly those in Georgetown Central. I need your support. If you are attracted to the way I carry myself in respect to the representation of your voice, and you live in my constituency, I really need you to get registered to vote, because I need your support. Now, many of you may have seen that I have a new banner up by the stoplight there, by Reflection, by Miss Tit Tit Yard, for those of you who are true Georgetowners and know.
I heard about it this morning.
Yes. And on that banner, I presented some information, some facts. There's over 5,000 persons who are eligible to get registered who are not registered. And I want you to get registered. And it's not only for Georgetown Central, but for all over the country. I really need you to do that. But particularly those in Georgetown Central, if you need assistance, I want to give you some numbers right now so you can call my team. I have a team ready and waiting to take your call to come assist you so you can make it as easy as possible. So for those of you who have a flow number and you want to call Flow to Flow and you need to get registered in Georgetown Central, call 924-3010. 924-3010, and one of my team members will definitely answer it and help you in every way and make it as easy as possible for you to get registered to vote. Mm-hmm. If you have a Digicel number and you want to call Digicel to Digicel, you can call 548-0207. 548-0207. Now that makes it quite easy for those who may have issues with respect and want to call another line number. But if that's not a factor for you, whether you call Digicel or Flow, you can call any one of those numbers and one of my team members will call you. I need your support. I need your prayers, and I need your support when it comes time to vote. And the only how I can get that is if you are registered to vote. For those of you who are registered to vote and you know members and friends and families that are not registered, please encourage them to do so. Particularly if you're a friend or a family member, they're more likely to listen to you than to somebody they don't know. So I encourage you to encourage them to get registered to vote. Lastly, OC, 2020 has been a very difficult year. We've had the severe dump fire. We've had the seriousness of the hurricane season with so many threats, but so many close calls. We've had the COVID-19 pandemic, which is still here. We have had the earthquake, which shocked us and really put our heart back in the same beat. Mm-hmm. We've seen now the downturn in the economy with so many people unemployed, and we're all trying to make it through. There's so much that we've gone through, but we still should be ever so grateful to be here. The Lord has blessed us, and I don't know who may not believe in Him, but I do. And I know that what I've seen other countries experienced, we should be so happy to know that we didn't have to go through it. Look at Colombia and Nicaragua, who've been hit back to back within a space of 2 weeks of serious major hurricanes and having to deal with the pandemic, having to deal with no jobs, no money, no food, lost everything, and having to deal with the global economy as well as the pandemic. But yet still, we missed some hurricanes. We controlled the fire, even though it could have gone a bit out of control. We got COVID-19 under control. The earthquake is come and gone, and we've repaired. We have a lot to be grateful for and thankful for. So with that being said, going into Christmas, I want to wish every single living soul in this country and across the world happy and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes. And I wish you all God's blessings throughout the season. Just be safe. Remember to do your safety protocols in respect to keeping hygienically clean and keeping your family protected. Even though we're a safe zone, we want to make sure that we're extra cautious in that respect. Okay. Let's go into 2021 with a happy spirit and prepare to take it on and make sure that 2021 is better. God bless you all, and thank you for having me on the show, OC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. We're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Whether you're finishing a new condo, upgrading your rental property, or simply renovating, make Ropers Enterprises your first stop. Quality furniture at a fraction of the price. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Ropers, your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Your home deserves a quality finish. Visit their showroom or shop online at ropers.ky. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Foam Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
It is the season of giving, and there is no better place to shop than Penha, Mac, and Victoria's Secret. Amazing savings on already low prices, and when you sign up for the Penha loyalty card, you get 3% back on all your purchases. And while you shop, enter raffles to win major prizes up to $5,000. Penha, Mac, and Victoria's Secret on 40 Cardinal Avenue in Georgetown.
The New Self-Help Community Foundation presents the 19th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts with their first ever virtual concert. Get your tickets now at eventpro.ky, streaming live on December 13th. You don't want to miss this. With performances by Erica Asai, Caitlin Tyson, Miss Universe 2018, Rico Rolando, Terry Williams, UCCI dancers, Lloyd Barker, Rita Estevanovich, Dream Chasers K-Man, Mariah Padwa, Shantae Ramoon, Duncan Anderson, K-Man Music School, Zariah Anglin, Centerpoint Dance Company, Richie T, JC Patrick, Miss World K-Man, and more. The Talent Exposition of the Arts, first ever virtual concert, broadcasting live December 13th. Get your tickets today at eventpro.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before we go to the phone lines, I want to read a message on behalf of the Cayman Islands Development Bank. They're having their Customer Appreciation Day today, and it says that in the spirit of giving, we want to recognize customers and their loyalty over the years. So they will have a grand prize of a loan payment waiver for the month of December. That's the grand prize that they will be having on a raffle. You can come and enjoy hors d'oeuvres as well. You can enjoy hors d'oeuvres and Christmas cookies. You can spin the wheel and win a prize from some of the CIDB small business customers as well. There will be other giveaways available. There's a meet and greet, and the the Cayman Islands Development Bank staff. Santa will be making an appearance, so you can get your photos taken by a professional photographer as well. And that is taking place today, December the 9th, 2020, from 9 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. Santa will arrive at 1 o'clock between the hours of 1 and 3 p.m. Photographs will be taken between 1 and 3:30 p.m. So go out there. If you're a customer of the Cayman Islands Development Bank, they have a Customer Appreciation Day for you today, starting from 9 o'clock this morning, going on until 3:30. Lots of things happening, lots of surprises, gate prizes. Who wouldn't love to have 1 month of their loan payment being paid as well? So, folks, please take advantage of that. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you?
I didn't realize I was on the line.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just fine, thank you. It was very good to hear Mr. MP, Mr. Brown, on this morning, and it's always to hear his passion for his people and his, his genuine sort of gung-ho way of going at his job and trying to learn as he goes along, and fits in very well there. And I believe I saw the poster he was talking about, banner he was talking about. With regards to, our Christian heritage. We don't have to be sort of reticent to proclaim it or say this has always been a part of us and a part of the culture. And those who come here and cannot accept that, I think it's possible that maybe they should go somewhere else. About 180 something countries in the world, I believe. And that's just it. We can't keep changing things. So we don't expect everybody to be going to church. It don't happen on Sunday or and so forth. But at least respect that this is a part of ourselves. It has always been that way. And you go to Islamic countries, they are very adamant and so forth. You might even be able to walk around with a Bible in your hand. They might stop you and question you and so forth. And these are countries that are recognized by the UN and all that. And so I just like to say that. And yeah, there must be some other way to plan a marathon that it doesn't impede on the people's rights and so forth. When I saw that freedom of religion thing in the Constitution, I said that it would become a problem, and I believe it will. And because many people thought it meant freedom of denomination. I think I heard people saying, well, they're this and that. I said, no. Religion means whether you're a Christian or whether you're, maybe an Islamic or whatever it is. There are lots of that Muslim. I think it's probably something similar.
Well, it could be,
you might be Judaism or something, and you might be of
Rastafarianism has also been deemed to be a religion.
No, as a religion. I don't know if it's officially recognized, but then that word official, that's what I'm coming to now, because the breach of the COVID regulations, yes, it's a very serious thing, and it must be so. And I do believe that the MPs should have the authority to seek, at least the Premier of the Chief Justice, explanations as to why certain sentences are or certain.
Wouldn't that amount to the politicians interfering in the judicial branch? I guess we're not an independent country, so it might come up that way, and with great. It's a very kind of convoluted, confused thing, because when we say official opposition, they're all elected. 19 people in there elected members of Parliament, and there are some who seem to be a group that says they're the official opposition. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just wondering, then the unofficial opposition would be, for instance, like Mr. Bryan there. Would he be unofficial? Would Mr. Miller be unofficial? I think what they're basically referring to is those who fall under the leader of the opposition, who have been selected, who have been designated as the opposition based on their seeking that recognition by having the numbers and having a leader who has been designated, been given that designation.
Yes, I just wonder, because it is a kind of confusing thing to some people to say, well, you have official, but it's not a party, I don't think, or I don't know.
No, they're not a party.
They're signing papers in it saying, well, I'm a member of this, and I adhere to this, and a sort of a constitution. It was even an unofficial constitution for the official, or so forth. I just wondered about that, what it would be Mr. Bryan's position if he's unofficial, or there are others like himself, because they're all equally elected, that's it. And the only one is first of all equals would be the Premier. Anyhow, I just thought I'd toss that out there. And yes, we have a lot to be very thankful for And God has blessed us, and we must give God thanks. And so, you know, there's lots to say about our Christian heritage. My father and mother, devout Christians, and so forth. Hard life, hard time. But others were like that also, we know. You grew up with that, man. I grew up with it. And it's something that's instilled and ingrained in us.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, sir. You too as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension for the record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman, one radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.